I'd like to take you through the refugees' experience before coming to the United States as a refugee. And I'm going to tell you a story of a group of refugees that lived in Moorville City before they came to the United States. Their experience that turned them into refugees. They came home one evening. They were all people that have survived, that have worked hard, become very, very important people. They had kids, they had families, they had grandkids. They were a broad community of people who were successful in the community. And one evening, one night, there was a loud sound and the lights just went off. This group were actually run out of their houses because there were knocks at the door. Who's here? Who is here? When they finally opened the door at night, my goodness, they saw guys with guns and they were driven out of their homes. And babies cried and grandmothers fell and people were shot down and people were bleeding, but you had to run for your life. These people that have taken you with guns have run you into another country and you are now there refugees. You have left your home with nothing and you are now refugees in this other country where they have taken you in boats and you are there. You're going to be in camps under tents. You are wondering what happens to me next? But your paperwork is going to go through. What's going to happen to you next is you're going to go to the UNHCR's office and you're going to give your story. You have a prosecution story. So the refugees are on the camp. They arrive there not at their own will. Now they have hope that they might be taken to another country for safety. They might be coming to the United States. So they go to the United Nations High Commission for Refugee office and they register, they give them a name. It's through this name that they give them ration of food. It's through this name that it will qualify them to go for interviews, to give their story. It's through these numbers, through this registration, that they are now considered refugees to be processed. So you go through the health screening, you go through the immigration process, you go through the prosecution interview. But this could take years. When I'm now on the camp, because I'm telling my story to the UN, and it is a persecution story, it's a true story, and they are going, I cannot go back. It's the hope that I will be going to another country and getting a second chance. I live with hope. Day in, week in, month in, years in. But I'm going to hold on because I am going to be taken away to another country. I will be free from my pain, from my trauma. My process is all done. Finally, I learned I'm approved. I'm qualified now to go to the United States as a refugee. I'm waiting for the day of my arrival, of my departure. I learned that my information had been sent to the United States to an agency that's going to receive me over there and help me through my transition when I get there. So I'm waiting. But I have my number, I have my bag, I have my paperwork, I have done all my screening. I'm ready to go. And I'm very, very excited. I have a chance now to make a second of my life. I am so happy today to learn that I will be going to the United States on Saturday. But on Monday, I'll be in the United States. And an agency called LCFS is going to be receiving me at the airport. And I cannot wait. Finally, 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 I am free. And I'm going somewhere where I can start a new life. I did arrive at the airport in Philadelphia on Monday night. There was an agency called the Lutheran Children and Family Service. There were 2 case managers that drove to the airport and they picked me up. I only had my IOM bag. But when I got in their car, I was taken to an apartment. Apparently, I learned that the agency had provided an apartment for me, paid for 3 months' rent. They have furnished it with some furniture. They have put some culturally appropriate food for me for the kind of food that I use. And they have bought my kids and me some clothes. And they have beds in there for me. It's how do they do it? Because even when I arrived at the airport, I didn't come with a jacket. But the case manager brought a coat. And they told us that they asked churches and community people to help with coat drives to give coats. I felt great. But when they told me how they got it all done, I admired them and I have to applaud them.